Hello my dear students and welcome to Zenith Academy Online. My name is Shagufta Jaipuri and we are on a much awaited chapter for ICSE class 10, that is study of compound sulfuric acid. Now my dear students, this video of sulfuric acid is according to the further reduced syllabus for ICSE class 10 2021. Now according to this reduced syllabus, or you can say the further reduced syllabus, we have only and only the chemical properties of sulfuric acid in our portion. So don't study contact process, don't study the physical properties, the uses, the test, anything. Okay, we just have chemical properties, and I assure you that if you watch the video till the end, you will be able to write each and every reaction without even mugging up or memorizing. So I'll make your concepts very clear, so watch till the end. Now before diving deep into the chemical properties, first let us study about sulfuric acid a little introduction about sulfuric acid and why it is so important. So sulfuric acid has a molecular formula H2SO4, we all know that, and a mass of 98. It is known as king of chemicals. It is so important that it is known as king of chemicals because of its extensive use in a large number of industries. This is also known as oil of vitriol. Now sulfuric acid is a powerful protonating agent, means it is able to provide protons, or you can simply say H plus ions. Okay. It is a very strong oxidizing agent, that is, it is able to oxidize the other species which is there present with it in the reaction. So on the reactant side, it will oxidize the other species which is along with H2SO4. So it is a strong oxidizing agent. It oxidizes other species and itself get reduced. It is also a powerful dehydrating agent, that is, it removes the water molecule from the compounds. Now it can remove water molecules directly from the hydrated compounds, and also it can remove 2 hydrogen atoms and 1 oxygen atom from any compound like carbohydrate, etc. Okay. Now H2SO4 is dibasic acid. What is dibasic acid? That has a basicity of 2, or we can say that can provide 2 H plus ion. One molecule can provide 2 H plus ions when it is dissolved in water. So it is a dibasic acid because it contains 2 hydrogen atoms which ionize in the aqueous solution to become hydrogen ions. Okay, so it gives 2 H plus ions when it is dissolved in water. So these are the few properties that we'll talk in detail. So let us now come to chemical properties of sulfuric acid. So first property of sulfuric acid, that it is acidic in nature. This is the most important property of sulfuric acid. Always remember students that pure sulfuric acid, or you can say concentrated sulfuric acid, does not ionize at all. Okay, and hence cannot be considered as acid, because we know what are acids. Acids are those substances or those chemical compounds which when dissolved in an aqueous solution or which when dissolved in water gives H plus ion, and this H plus ion reacts with water or combines with water to form hydronium ion. So an acid is something which gives hydronium ion as the only positive ions, right? We had learned this in acid base salts. So if it does not ionize, then it cannot be considered as an acid. But always remember that dilute sulfuric acid, okay, so when you take concentrated sulfuric acid and add water to it, it becomes dilute. It ionizes to form hydronium ions and sulfate ions. It is dibasic in nature, that is forms 2 H plus ions on dissociation. So I'll show you here. See, this is H2SO4. How does H2SO4 dissociate? It forms H plus ions and sulfate ions, right? Now how many hydrogen atoms are there? 2, so 2 H plus ions and 1 sulfate ion, correct? Now this 2 H plus ions combines with water, okay, it combines with 2 molecules of water to give 2 hydronium ions. Correct. So if you add these reactions from here, H plus and H plus goes. So H2SO4, that is sulfuric acid, when reacts with 2 molecules of water, Okay, here you see there is only one molecule of sulfuric acid. When reacts with two molecules of water, or when it is dissolved, it forms what? It forms sulfate ion and hydronium ion, two hydronium ions. So 2H3O plus and sulfate ion, SO4 2 minus. So that is why it is dibasic in nature. Now let us see this acidic nature of sulfuric acid with different substances. So let us see how sulfuric acid reacts with metals. Okay, it forms corresponding sulfate salts and hydrogen. Okay, so whenever an active metal reacts with sulfuric acid, okay, this metal will displace hydrogen, it will replace hydrogen, okay, it will form hydrogen gas and itself sits on its position. So MgSO4 is formed. Okay, so it forms a salt and hydrogen. Now which type of salt will it form? It will form a sulfate salt, because in the acid this is the anion part, in the sulfuric acid which is the anion part, sulfate, okay, and this is the cation part. So this metal will displace the positive part. Okay, now whenever you are writing salt, okay, whenever you are writing any formula, you should always know, for sulfuric acid I will tell you this is sulfate ion, it has a valency of -2. Okay, so whenever you are forming a compound, for example zinc, okay, so zinc has valency of +2. Okay, so when they react, okay, this comes here and this comes here, so it forms 2 here and 2 here, so both of the 2 gets cancelled and we get ZnSO4. So this is how you will write the formula. So for writing the formula you should always know what are the valency of that particular group of ions. Okay, for writing the formula well, you should know the valencies. Now, so magnesium reacts with H2SO4 to form MgSO4 and H2. Zinc reacts with H2SO4 to form zinc sulfate and H2. Nickel reacts with H2SO4 to form nickel sulfate and H2. Okay, so in all the cases you are getting salt and hydrogen is getting released. Here all of them are having a valency of +2. So the same formula, MgSO4, ZnSO4, nickel sulfate. Okay, now iron plus H2SO4 will also form FeSO4 and H2. Okay. Now let me take some other metal with different valency. Now sodium. Sodium has a valency of 1. Okay. Now when sodium reacts with H2SO4, okay, at a temperature more than 200, then this sodium will displace hydrogen. Okay. So sodium sulfate should form and hydrogen should form. Okay. So hydrogen is formed because this H2O is released. Now sodium sulfate, can I write the formula like this? No. See, sodium has a valency of +1, sulfate has a valency of -2. So when we cross it like this, it becomes Na2SO4. Okay, so the formula we will write it as Na2SO4. So according to the valency of metal, you will write the formula of sulfate. So just remember that when metal reacts with H2SO4, it will form salt, with salt, sulfate salt, and hydrogen is released. Now next is when H2SO4 reacts with metal oxide. Now my dear students, I have already told you that metal oxides or metal hydroxides both are basic in nature, whereas non-metal oxides are acidic in nature. So metal oxide, when metal oxide comes, you should know that it is a base. Okay, and H2SO4 is an acid. So acid and base reacts to form salt and water, correct. So here you see this is metal, copper is a metal and this is metal oxide. So this is base, then H2SO4 is an acid, it should react to form salt and water. So the basic things you should know, then you will be able to write the reaction. Okay. Now here this is iron oxide, sodium oxide, magnesium oxide and zinc oxide. All are metal oxides, all will be basic in nature. So when I react sulfuric acid with all of them, okay. So what will happen? A salt will form with salt, sulfate salt, because anion here is sulfate. So FeO plus H2SO4 will form FeSO4 plus H2O. Sodium oxide plus H2SO4 will form sodium sulfate, Na2SO4 plus H2O. Then you keep on checking whether it is balanced or not. Okay, so this is balanced. Now MgO plus H2SO4 will form MgSO4. Magnesium valence is 2, sulfate valence is 2, so there is nothing here. Okay, and water. Now zinc oxide and H2SO4 will form zinc sulfate and water. So this is very easy. Metal oxides are basic in nature. Basic plus acid will form salt and water. Now let us see how it reacts with metal hydroxide. I have already told you metal hydroxides are also basic in nature. So base plus acid will form salt and water. So NaOH, that is sodium hydroxide. Sodium is a metal, this is metal hydroxide. When reacts with H2SO4, it forms sulfate salt. Okay, so this is the anion used, this will be the cation used. Okay, so Na, 2Na and plus water. Now zinc hydroxide plus H2SO4, okay, will form salt and water. So this will be the cation, this will be the anion. So it will form zinc sulfate, okay, and water. So if you balance it, you will have 2H2O here. Let us see how it reacts with metal carbonates and bicarbonates. Now, whenever H2SO4 reacts with carbonates or bicarbonates, always remember that it will form salt and water, and it will also form CO2, that is carbon dioxide, because it is present in carbonate and bicarbonate, right? See, zinc carbonate plus H2SO4 will form salt, water and CO2. So first you form water and CO2 and keep, and then see, this is the cation and this is the anion. So it will form zinc sulfate, then H2O and CO2. See, H2, now here CO3 can be written as CO2 plus O. Okay, O go and combines with H2. Okay, so CO2 and H2O is formed and this zinc sulfate is formed. Here now magnesium sulfate will be formed and CO2 and H2O. Here, now here see here, this is sodium bicarbonate. Now what is bicarbonate? Whenever there is an extra H, okay, so this Na will be the cation, this sulfate will be the anion, okay, so Na2SO4 will be formed, water and CO2 will be formed, but you will have to check the balancing. There is a slight change in balancing because of this extra amount of H here. Okay, similarly, so, potassium hydrogen carbonate or potassium bicarbonate react with H2SO4 to form K2SO4, water and CO2. Okay, so whenever there is a bicarbonate, you see that this is in the ratio 2:1. Okay, 2 molecules of this and 1 molecule of H2SO4 will form salt. Then H2O and CO2 will be 2 molecules each. Okay, salt will be 1 molecule. So you don't have to even balance. Learn this small tricks by practicing the chapter very well. Now let us see with metal sulfite. Now what is sulfite? Now sulfite is SO3 2-. Okay, its valency is 2-. This was SO4 2- was sulfate. Okay, so don't get confused. This was sulfate. And this sulfite is SO3 2-. Okay, that is why when we say sodium sulfite, see, sodium is +1, sulfite is SO3 2-. Okay, so when this is cross multiplied, it forms Na2SO3. So this is how you will make the formulas. So sodium sulfite reacts with H2SO4 to form salt, which is sulfate. Okay, and H2O and SO2, sulfur dioxide gas is released. Always remember, in case of sulfite, it will form salt, water and sulfur dioxide gas. Now see here, this will be the cation and this will be the anion. Okay, even if we are taking sulfite, but sulfuric acid is having the sulfate cation, right? So don't ever get confused. We are using sulfuric acid, so anion will be from sulfuric acid. That is why they both combine to form sulfate. Okay. Now here K2SO3, that is potassium sulfite, reacts with sulfuric acid to form potassium sulfate. Okay, so K from here and sulfate from here. Okay, now this will form SO2 and this oxygen goes here and it will form H2O. Okay, so this sulfite will break, that is why it will not come in the compound. Moving ahead, let us talk about metal sulfide. Metal sulfide. So sulfide is S2 minus. Okay, only S2 minus. That is why when we say sodium sulfide, okay, sodium is +1, sulfide is -2. When it crosses, it forms Na2S. Okay, sodium sulfide. Similarly, zinc sulfide. Zinc is +2, sulfide is -2, so both gets cancelled. Okay, now see here, this sodium and this sulfate will form sodium sulfate, and this is very important, hydrogen sulfide gas is released. Okay, so whenever H2SO4 reacts with sulfide, metal sulfide, it will form salt. Which salt? Sulfate salt, as always, and H2S gas is released. Now H2S gas is a pungent smelling gas having a smell of rotten eggs, so you will be able to identify the gas very well, very easily. So always remember, when H2SO4 reacts with metal sulfide, it forms salt and hydrogen sulfide gas. Similarly, zinc sulfide reacts with H2SO4 to form zinc sulfate and H2S gas. Iron sulfide reacts with H2SO4 to form iron sulfate and H2S gas. I hope while I am teaching you are able to even learn the reactions very well. So now let us recapitulate the acidic behavior of sulfuric acid. So we are talking about general reactions of dilute acid. First we did acid plus metal. Now whenever acid plus metal reacts, it forms salt and hydrogen. So if you remember this, you will be able to write each and every reaction without even learning the reaction. You should remember that active metal except lead. Now lead does not react with acid and form salt and hydrogen, because lead is below the hydrogen in the activity series. So lead cannot displace hydrogen from sulfuric acid. Okay. Now acid plus base, that is metal oxide or metal hydroxide, forms salt and water. So in the first case, when there is only metal, it will form salt and hydrogen. Now when there is metal oxide or metal hydroxide, it will form salt and water. Now when it reacts with carbonate or bicarbonate, okay, when acid reacts with metal carbonate or bicarbonate, it will form salt, water and carbon dioxide. Okay, so just learn these skeletal reactions. Acid plus sulfite or bisulfite, that is SO3 2 minus, will form salt, water and sulfur dioxide. Now when acid reacts with sulfide, it will form salt, hydrogen sulfide gas, the pungent odor hydrogen sulfide gas. Okay, so if you remember this structure, you will be able to write all the reactions. Now the second very important property of sulfuric acid is it acts as a dibasic acid, that is its basicity is 2. Now what does it mean? That one molecule of H2SO4, okay, one molecule of H2SO4 is giving 2 hydronium ions or 2 H plus ions which combines with water to form 2 hydronium ions. Okay, so let us see how H2SO4 dissociates. It forms H plus and sulfate ions, because that are the ions in sulfuric acid. Okay, so H is having a +1 valency, sulfate is having -2 valency. Now how many hydrogen atoms? 2. So 2 H plus ions, right? Now we know that H plus ions, when react or when combine with water molecule, it forms H3O plus hydronium molecules. Okay, H combines here without the electron, so it forms H3O plus. But since there are 2 H plus ions involved, so I'll multiply the whole reaction with 2. So here there is 2 H plus, 2 water and 2 hydronium ion. So here you can see that one molecule of H2SO4 has given 2 molecules of hydronium ions. That is why we call its basicity is 2. That is, per molecule of H2SO4 it is providing 2 hydronium ions. Okay. It is these hydronium ions or H plus ions which are responsible for the acidic character of H2SO4. Now next is it dissociates in two steps. See, earlier I told you when H2SO4 dissociates, it forms sulfate ions and H plus ion. But how does this dissociation takes place? See here, there is this H2SO4. Okay. Now it means there are two H plus ions and one sulfate ion, right? So when it dissociates, earlier only one H plus ion goes off. So it is left with this. So one H plus leaves and HSO4. Now sulfate is 2 minus, this is 1 plus, so the overall charge becomes minus 1. Okay, so H2SO4 dissociates to gives H plus and HSO4 minus. Now this HSO4 minus dissociates. Okay, now how does it dissociate? Now one of the hydrogen atom leaves without the electron, so it forms H plus. Okay, and then this SO4. Now since it has gone without the electron, so one more electron is there, so it forms SO4 2 minus. Now if I add these two reactions, okay, so this HSO4 and this HSO4 goes off because what was there in the product has been used as a reactant here. So I can write this H2SO4 dissociates to form 2 H plus ions and a sulfate ion. Okay, so we all usually talk about this reaction directly, but how it happens in step 1 and step 2. So there are two steps in this. Next is it forms two types of salt with an alkali. Students, we know that acids react with base or alkali to form salt and water. What are alkali? Alkalis are those bases which are soluble in water, correct? So we can say that acid plus alkali reacts to form salt and water, right? But sulfuric acid forms two types of salts. Okay, these salts are of two types. One is the normal salt and another is acidic salt. Now let us see what are these type of salts. See, this is H2SO4. Okay, now when I react it with an alkali, say NaOH, okay, sodium hydroxide, this is an alkali, that is, it is a base which is soluble in water. Now when this sodium will displace hydrogen from H2SO4. Now we know that H2SO4 has two replaceable hydrogen atoms. So now if the sodium replaces both the hydrogen, okay, it will form Na2SO4 and water will be formed. Now if I balance it, it will be 2. So after balancing, I come to a conclusion that this is in excess. Okay, alkali is in excess. Now this type of a salt which is formed by replacing both the hydrogen atoms, both the replaceable hydrogen atoms are replaced by the cation here from the alkali, then this type of a salt is known as normal salt. Okay, now see here again, this H2SO4 when reacts with sodium hydroxide. Now if only one of the hydrogen is replaced, okay, there only one sodium is there, it is not in excess, okay, we are not writing 2 here, it is not in excess. So only one sodium will replace the one hydrogen atom, so it will form Na because only one sodium was there, it has replaced only one H, so HSO4 minus is left, so we will form sodium HSO4. Okay, sodium is plus 1, HSO4 is minus 1, so the formula becomes this. So this is sodium bisulfate, okay, and water is formed. Now students, you should remember that this salt has an replaceable H here. There is one H extra in the salt. This is the cation, this is the anion, and this H is extra. Okay, so that is why this is called acid salt. Why acid salt? It is a salt, it has a cation and an anion, and it has a replaceable hydrogen as well. That is why it is an acid salt. So we can conclude that H2SO4 acid reacts with an alkali and form two types of salt, normal salt and acid salt. When is normal salt formed? When the alkali is in excess. So both the cations of the alkali replace both the hydrogen. Okay. So this is formed by complete replacement of hydrogen from the acid, and this is formed by partial replacement of hydrogen from the acid. Okay. So here this H remains. Okay. And this is when this is not in excess. Okay. We have only one Na available. Now coming on to another very important property of sulfuric acid, its non-volatile nature. What is non-volatile? Which do not form vapors easily, do not get converted into vapor. Okay. So especially in our portion, we have reaction with sodium chloride and potassium chloride, and also sodium nitrate and potassium nitrate. Okay. So let us see now. This H2SO4 is a non-volatile or a less volatile acid, and HCl and nitric acid are more volatile acids. Okay, this you should remember. Now NaCl is a salt of this acid. Why HCl acid? Why? Cl anion is there. Okay, and HCl, which anion is there? Cl, chloride. Okay, so NaCl is formed by replacing one of the hydrogen of the hydrogen chloride, and metal is placed. So NaCl. So this is the salt of more volatile acid. Okay. So students, whenever a less volatile or non-volatile acid reacts with a salt of more volatile acid, it displaces the volatile acid from its salt. So from this salt, which acid will be removed? HCl. Okay, and a salt will be formed. Okay, I am repeating here. Whenever a non-volatile or a less volatile acid reacts with a salt of more volatile acid, it will replace, it will kick out that more volatile acid from its salt. Okay. So now this cation Na and sulfate. Now in this case bisulfate I have taken as an anion, one more H, and it will form sodium bisulfate and HCl, because one H, okay, I will not replace both the hydrogen, one H will react with this anion chloride and form the salt. Okay. Now here also I will take HSO4 like this. So one H goes with this Cl, it will form HCl, and then K and HSO4 react to form KHSO4. So it has formed sodium bisulfate and potassium bisulfate. Now coming on to nitrate. Okay, so this is nitric acid, more volatile. This is sulfuric acid, less volatile. So when a less volatile acid reacts with a salt of more volatile acid, it will replace that acid from its salt. Okay, so but here you will see that sodium sulfate and potassium sulfate are formed and not bisulfate as here. Okay, because here both the hydrogens, okay, reacts with this nitrate. There are two nitrate. Okay, so HNO3 and sodium and sulfate is formed. Okay, so now in potassium nitrate there are two nitrate ions, and from here two H plus ions form 2 HNO3. 2 will come, here also 2 will come. It will form 2 HNO3, and this then 2 potassium and sulfate form K2SO4. So remember here there will be 2 HNO3 in both the cases. So in case of chloride, sodium chloride and potassium chloride, okay, it will form 1 molecule. In case of nitrate, 2 nitrate molecules. Okay, so excess, this is in excess. Okay. 2 nitrate will react with 1 sulfuric acid to form sodium sulfate or the metal salts and 2 nitric acids. Okay, because there is complete replacement of H2. Okay, so there will be 2 cations which will be required. So we will take 2 molecules. Okay. So remember here hydrogen sulfate and here only sulfate will be formed. Now Very important, sulfuric acid as an oxidizing agent. That is, it oxidizes the other species which is present with it and itself gets reduced. And also remember, this property is exhibited by concentrated sulfuric acid. So till now we were talking about dilute sulfuric acid and all the reactions of dilute sulfuric acid. Now we are talking about concentrated sulfuric acid. So when concentrated sulfuric acid decomposes on heating strongly, that is on thermal decomposition, it gives nascent oxygen, hence it acts as a strong oxidizing agent. So students, it can be asked why concentrated sulfuric acid act as a strong oxidizing agent. So you have to say that on thermal decomposition it gives what? It gives nascent oxygen, and this nascent oxygen is the one which is responsible for the oxidizing behavior. Okay, so on thermal decomposition you have to give this reaction in the answer, that H2SO4 on heating, it decomposes thermally to give H2O, that is water, SO2 gas and nascent oxygen, and it is this nascent oxygen which is responsible for oxidizing action of concentrated sulfuric acid. So don't forget to write this reaction whenever this question is asked. Now let us see this oxidizing nature in the form of reactions. So whenever this reacts with non-metal like carbon, sulfur and phosphorus, so this H2SO4 will oxidize the other species which is present with it. Okay, so what is oxidation? Addition of oxygen or removal of hydrogen. So this carbon has turned into carbon dioxide, so an oxygen has been added to it. So we can say that this carbon dioxide is the oxidized product. Oxidized product, and which is the oxidizing agent? Concentrated sulfuric acid. Okay, always remember this is not dilute sulfuric acid. Now sulfur, this is a non-metal. Non-metal will get oxidized in presence of sulfuric acid. So you see sulfur getting converted into SO2. So this is the oxidized product. Again similarly, phosphorus getting converted into phosphoric acid. So here you can see there is an addition of oxygen. Okay, so this is also oxidation reaction. Now here when metal reacts with concentrated H2SO4, the reaction is different. Okay, please pay attention here. Earlier we had done that when metal reacts with dilute sulfuric acid, salt and hydrogen gas was getting formed. Now here there is concentrated H2SO4. So copper will convert into copper sulfate. It has been oxidized. Zinc will convert into zinc sulfate and will form water and SO2 gas. Now when I take inorganic compounds with concentrated sulfuric acid, what happens? This Hi has formed I2. So what do you see here? This is removal of hydrogen. So removal of hydrogen is also known as oxidation. So Hi has got converted into I2. So this is my oxidized product. Most of the times they will ask you what is the oxidized product. Okay, so this is the oxidized product. H2S gas gets converted into S. Okay, so hydrogen is again removed here because of the presence of concentrated sulfuric acid, and again H2O and SO2 will be formed. So just learn the basic skeleton and you will be able to write the reactions very well. Now concentrated sulfuric acid acts as a strong dehydrating agent. From the name itself it suggests that dehydrating. Dehydrating means removal of water. Okay, so it readily removes water from other compounds due to high affinity of water. Now this question can also be asked, why it acts as a strong dehydrating agent? Because it has a high affinity for water. It has a lot of love for water, so it will attract water towards itself and the other species will get devoid of water. Okay, so it removes water in two forms. Okay, so now from carbohydrate and organic compounds, how does it remove water? It removes hydrogen and oxygen in the ratio 2:1. So if there is a hydrocarbon, it will remove 2 atoms of hydrogen and 1 atom of oxygen from it. Okay. Now it also removes water of crystallization from hydrated salts. In hydrated salts we have water of crystallization .2H2, .5H2, .10H2O. Okay, so it will remove those water of crystallization directly. Now let us see the examples of these two. The first case is dehydration of sugar. Now this first one is glucose C6H12O6. Now from this, if I remove hydrogen and oxygen in the ratio of 2:1, So if I remove 12 hydrogen and 6 oxygen, this is the ratio of 2:1. So if I remove these, okay, I'll get only 6 atoms of carbon. So 6 carbon is remaining behind and I form 6 molecules of water. See, there are 12 hydrogen atoms and there are 6 oxygen atoms. Okay, so it has removed water. So it has removed H and O in the ratio of 2:1. Okay, so the sugar gets charred. You know, this is what? This is just carbon, charcoal. So it gets charred as only carbon is left when water is removed from it. Again, this is an example of cane sugar. This was glucose. Okay. Now, here also if I remove 22 hydrogen and 11 oxygen, it is in the ratio 2:1, then I will form 12 carbon. Okay, so 12 carbon, or this is commonly known as sugar charcoal. Which sugar charcoal, how it is formed? By treating your cane sugar in concentrated sulfuric acid. So when you add concentrated sulfuric acid to cane sugar, it gets charred, okay, and form carbon, and this charcoal is known as sugar charcoal, and 11 molecules of H2O is removed. Now this is cellulose. So this is N number, so this is the monomer. Okay, so when I add concentrated sulfuric acid and so if this can be any number N. So here there is 6 carbon and H2O, 10 hydrogen and 5 oxygen. So 5 molecules of water with the N is removed. Now let us talk about dehydration of organic compounds like formic acid, oxalic acid and ethanol. Now what is formic acid? It is a carboxylic acid, first member of carboxylic acid, so only one carbon. So this is the formula of carboxylic acid. Oxalic acid is this, and ethanol, meth and eth, 2 carbon, okay. So C2H6 is ethane. So I remove one hydrogen and add an alcohol, so it becomes ethanol, C2H5OH. Okay. When I treat all of them with concentrated sulfuric acid, what happens? It's a dehydrating agent, so it will remove water molecule. So here H2O, okay. So one H from here, one H from here and one oxygen from here. Okay, so it will form what? Carbon monoxide. So it will form carbon monoxide plus water. Okay, now from here I have to remove, so OH from here and H from here. So what is left? One carbon monoxide and one carbon dioxide. So it will form carbon monoxide, carbon dioxide and water. Aren't the reactions very easy if you understand it this way? Now here also H2O, so OH I have removed, one more H from here I will remove, so it will become C2H4. So water is removed and C2H4 is removed. Now students, what is this C2H4? Okay, if you draw it like this, so 2 carbon and 4 hydrogen I have arranged. Now is the valency of carbon satisfied? No, carbon has 1, 2, 3. But actually carbon has 4. So I can make a double bond here. Now are all the valencies of carbon satisfied? Yes. This also has 4 and this also has 4. So what is this molecule with a double bond and 2 carbon atom? 2 carbon atom is eth, and since there is a double bond, it is an alkene, so it is ethene. So when formic acid is treated with concentrated sulfuric acid, it forms carbon monoxide and water. When oxalic acid is treated with concentrated sulfuric acid, it will form carbon monoxide, carbon dioxide and water is removed. And in case of ethanol, ethene is formed and water is removed. Now removal of water of crystallization. So from the hydrated compounds, it is able to remove water of crystallization. So here we have taken an example of copper sulfate. So here you can see copper sulfate along with 5 water of crystallization, 5 molecules of water of crystallization. Now when this is treated with concentrated sulfuric acid, simply these water molecules are removed. So it forms copper sulfate and H2O. We all know that this was hydrated solution is blue in color, whereas our copper sulfate is white in color. Or if you add concentrated sulfuric acid in the crystals of copper sulfate, it will turn into white crystals. So this was all about sulfuric acid for the year 2021. I hope I was able to do justice with the topic and you are able to remember all the reactions now very well along with the proper reasoning. So if you have liked the video, give it a thumbs up and write in the comment section. And please show me your love by subscribing to my channel and sharing it with all of your friends. Keep the learning on. Thank you.